with years left. And that was Carson Palmer's ultimatum. I'm just not going to do this. I'd rather adjust to a life without football than deal with this nonsense. And that's why I said with Joe Burrow, I said, be very careful. I never forget when he got drafted and they took a shot at his family. I'm like, he doesn't look that happy. It's the Cincinnati Bengals. It is not a coincidence. The Browns, the Lions, and the Bengals have been a train wreck for 20 years. It's not a coincidence. Not great owners that won't pay for elite front offices they don't have them, so they don't find the elite coaches. The best people in the NFL want to work with the best people, right? Like the best people want to work with the best people, and so you get these franchises that nobody's going to take. No really high-end football coach is going to take the Bengals job. Why would you? They don't pay. They won't pay for a top GM. If I'm a coach, you get a Zach Taylor. You're not getting a Sean McVay. Sean McVay had options. You get a Zach Taylor. It's not like people were lining up for Zach Taylor. And that's what you get with these, like the Lions. What elite coach is going to go, if Urban Meyer was on the market, you're going to tell me Cincinnati and Detroit get the first call to the Jets? And so I always say this, in the NFL, be very careful about firing your coach and turning over, because it turns off people. Great coaches want stability. And if you're constantly firing coaches, I mean, nothing against Kevin Stefanski, but it's not like he's an A-plus candidate for a coach. He may work. Same with Zach Taylor, Matt Patricia. You kind of get what you get. So I watched him this weekend, and I like a lot of these young quarterbacks. Tua's look good. Herbert's look good. Josh Allen's look good. Kyler Murray's look great. Joe Burrow looks good. But the one I worry about is Joe Burrow. That's what I worry about. Cincinnati has no history of supporting a great young quarterback. Prove it to me. Carson Palmer was the last great one you had, and he wanted out. By the way, Joe Burrow, latest from Adam Schefter. The MRI to Joe Burrow revealed more damage than anticipated. He tore his ACL, he tore his MCL, and suffered other structural issues in his knee as well. You go to a better team, you get a better coach, you get a better O-line. There's just 4 or 5 teams in the NFL. You get a B- coach, you get a C+ GM. They don't, again, the best scouts in the league, they don't want to work for the Lions. They don't want to work for the Bengals. They don't want to work for the Jags. And so that's why I say in the NFL, who's your owner? Who's your owner? That'll dictate everything. You got a good owner, he'll get a good GM, and the GM will have, hey, look at my owner. We have stability. It's no shock that Andy Reid gets fired in Philadelphia. Where does Andy Reid go? Andy Reid had $20 million in the bank. Where does he go? He goes to Kansas City. The Hunt family's excellent. Brett Veach. Like, Kansas City has a history of not winning a bunch of Super Bowls, but being stable, of being a stable franchise. So I look at Joe Burrow, and the news is lousy this morning, and it's like, this is what we worried about. Bengal nonsense. This is what we worried about. I don't worry about Tua getting benched. I don't worry about Justin Herbert. Most of these young guys, I don't worry about Kyler Murray. Cincinnati, I told this story last week. Years ago, a local high school football team, Mulder High School in Cincinnati, had an indoor facility. The Bengals didn't. T.J. Hushmanzada has come on the show before and said he got there, they shared jock straps. That's what they did. They shared jock straps. They didn't have Gatorade. You had to just find water fountains. That's the organization's history. So I said, if I'm Joe Burrow, I would have pushed back. Eli Manning pushed back. Elway pushed back, and they were both rewarded. Sad. Tore ACL, MCL, brutal. I actually DM'd him last night, Joe Burrow. Made me sick to watch him. It just made me sick to my stomach. And again, it's not like second guessing. This is like first preaching. Everybody knew it was. We're all saying it. This is brutal. It's going to be Andrew Luck. Give him the playbook. Save us. Brutal. Just ridiculous. Trent Dilfer. Oh, my God. Did he deliver a bombshell in the second hour? We'll revisit that coming up. You've heard me talk about Tecovas boots before. They do leather goods, Austin, Texas-based, handmade in Mexico. They're in no hurry. They do stuff right. They're not worried about doing it quickly. And we
you.